Hi, dear friends. Thank you for joining us once again on this wonderful Monday evening here at the Blue Lotus Mindfulness and Meditation Center. I so greatly appreciate you taking some of your precious time to spend it with us once again. So happy that you're here sharing your time with us. And April's theme is opening up with the good, or opening up to the good for ourselves, right? Understanding our self-worth, our own value, and how we can cultivate those positive intentions, those positive feelings, so that we can help others, help ourselves at the same time, but help others as well. Because when we're strong and we know the value of the goodness that we could offer, we're better inclined, or better have the better tools to help others as well. Okay. So again, once again, I greatly appreciate you all coming here, and so looking forward to this. It's a wonderful, wonderful meditation coming up. And so what I would ask, go ahead and get yourself into that nice, comfortable position. Okay. Get yourself into that. Whatever comfortable position works well for you is perfectly fine. And so go ahead, sit comfortably in your quiet place, or in a quiet place with the spine up tall. Sit up nice and straight. And then go ahead and close your eyes and relax. And I'll guide you through this. Right? So go ahead, close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Take a deep breath in, and a nice, wonderful pause, relaxing pause, and then slowly exhale it out. So in for 2, pause, and go ahead and exhale for 3. Let's do that one more time. Wonderful. All right. So go ahead and breathe quietly and patiently in and out through your nose, as just relax, and I'll guide you through this process. And then what I'd like for you to do is recall that equanimity arises through controlled mindfulness. Being mindful of right here and right now, of sensation and body, breath and mind. Mindful here and now of movement or changes in your breath. And mindful always of activity in the mind itself. And then make a commitment to stay mindful of body, breath, and mind in each moment as you contemplate the following pairs of words. The first is praise and blame. Contemplate the reaction of your body or your mind when someone compliments you. And then in what ways do those compliments throw you off balance? And what would it feel like to receive a compliment, yet remain stable in body, breath, and mind? And when you receive criticism, in what ways do you lose your balanced state of mind? And is it possible to receive criticism and with mindfulness remain present and undisturbed? How does your body respond to praise? And how does it respond to blame? Be present with those sensations that arise as you sit with the concepts of praise and blame. And now, contemplate gain and loss. What arises in your body and mind when you reflect upon gain and loss? Do you feel pushed or pulled in any one direction? Reflect, reflect briefly upon an experience when you got exactly what you wanted. Or feel free to recall an experience when you lost something very dear to you. What would it look like to hold space equally for both the joy and the suffering? Notice in the body what it might be like to extend warmth and love equally to your wins and to your losses, and to all the emotions that those two things evoke. And then think of the duo of pleasure and pain and what arises. Are you aware of an attachment of pleasure or perhaps an aversion to pain? Or in what ways do you avoid pleasure and grasp or hold on to your pain? What would it feel like in your body to equally welcome both sensations? To allow for the fullness of your human experience without attachment to any of it. What surfaces for you as you contemplate pleasure and pain? And then reflect upon fame and ill repute. In what ways are you thrown off balance by what others think of you? Notice the push and the pull of popularity, recognition, acknowledgement, notoriety. Notice too how the body reacts to disrespect or dishonor or disregard or neglect. Notice where that attachment lies, where the mind or the body gets stuck. Notice where the body feels tight, or where and why it begins to soften, to open up. And then turn your attention to the back of your seat, back to the connection between your hips, your legs, or your feet, and the earth. Turn attention back to the steadiness and to the ease of your breath. And with every exhale, feel even more grounded, more rooted, and more stable. Like an old tree in the forest, you are firmly rooted. Your strong foundation has grown over time. And the weather might change, and the wind might pick up, and you can be pushed or pulled to and fro, but no wind is strong enough to uproot you. You bend, you sway, but you keep returning to center, never angry at the clouds for passing through, never pinning for a sunny day. You accept all that it is, understanding that you could sometimes use the rain. All is welcome. You remain stable, rooted in your own awareness. Awareness as the home base from which you grow. You are stable, balanced, strong, and free. Go and take a few moments. Begin to bring ourselves into the present moment. Maybe you want to stretch a little or twist your body around and reposition. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you want to drink some tea real fast. Get a sip of tea, like I am. Wonderful. Wonderful. So again, opening up to compliments. Why do we, or sometimes the people that we may be in close contact with, why are we hesitant to accept compliments? Why do you think that is? If we think about that momentarily, there can be some negative emotional effects to that. Not accepting compliments when they're rightfully deserved. Right? We may be afraid of being worthy. We may be afraid of being valued for what we do or what we accomplish, what we're capable of doing, or just even a really good job. And so sometimes when we are hesitant to accept those compliments, we are minimizing our own value, the value that we can offer anyone, right? Not just to ourselves, but to the world, the people that we know, to um, people that we don't even know. Maybe just coming across the street. Maybe something, that we can share with them just to have that positive value about us. So sometimes being hesitant to accept the compliments, it's because we are, again, afraid of our own worth. Maybe we've been told that for so long that, maybe you've always heard that, you're, from someone that you are now good at something. And think about that. How that could stick with us. How could that be if someone tells us that we are good at something, but we remember from back when we were younger, right, that someone told us we were not worthy, we're not good. And we know that's not true. So we are worthy. And we have value. So let's don't minimize our value. Maybe it's, we're shy. Could be other reasons too, right? Maybe we're just shy. Don't want to be in the spotlight. Maybe we're introverted. And that's perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine to be introverted. And so if we're shy about accepting public praise, right? Public acknowledgement for a job well done. Maybe if we're at work or something like that, maybe we could maybe you might have to have that conversation, and you don't have to have a physical conversation. Maybe you could just send an email to your supervisor and just, let them know that maybe you don't feel comfortable. But it's important for us to understand that we have that value and that worth, and that it's important for us, for self-esteem purposes, to be able to take those compliments. Right? We don't always want to be criticized. Right? Criticism, justifiable criticism, has its place. Right? Justifiable criticism isn't harsh or rude or callous. If it's constructive, that's probably the better word than justifiable. But constructive criticism is necessarily important just as well, or just as much as praise. That's how we can grow as well. So being able to realize our own self-worth, right? Trying to move past maybe some statements made to us when we were younger, right? Trying to develop the ability to open our own heart, our own graciousness, our own gratitude, so that we can be more accepting of compliments. So, but why should we, right? Why should we accept compliments? Where's the benefit in that, right? Well, positive emotional benefits, right? Our self-esteem. When we're told that we have done a good job, that is recognition for the hard work, for the effort, for the resilience that you have put forth towards a task. And it doesn't have to be something so grandiose, a big team project at work. It doesn't have to be so grandiose as, I don't know, you build a car engine, right? Not that I could ever, well, I guess I could do that, right? It would just take time. I've never done that before, so that would be a new skill for myself. But it doesn't have to be something big and grandiose. Maybe you learned how to make a lasagna, right? Maybe you just learned how to make a lasagna, and that's wonderful, right? And you put forth your best effort, and your family sitting around that dinner table, enjoying the fruits of your hard labor for that very first time. And that's a wonderful, wonderful way to develop self-confidence. Maybe you just grew some plants, right? Learning to accept compliments just comes from small things. Small things have a tendency to lead to bigger accomplishments as well. But you're free to stop wherever you like. If you don't want a big compliment, you don't have to take one. If you don't, or you don't have to take on a big project, I suppose. It's quite up to you. And being generous or kind to ourselves, right? That's another wonderful reason why we should be able to learn to accept compliments, because it's being kind to ourselves. And that's what this is. A lot of mindfulness is. It's being aware of our present moment non-judgmentally. And there's a lot of positivity just in that saying, just in that definition of what mindfulness is. And that's being gracious, being kind to ourselves. And when we have those positive emotional benefits from learning how to accept compliments wholeheartedly and with open gratitude and graciousness, others will begin to recognize your value as well. You may already know. You all may already be, man, I recognize my value. But how do others? How am I going to show others my value? That may, you may find something, some value in that as well, right? It's not about pleasing others, right? We don't live to please others. Otherwise, we'll never have time for ourselves, right? And that's unhealthy too. We can't please others. We start with pleasing ourselves in that sense, and being kind to ourselves and being gracious to ourselves. And that's a wonderful way to realize that when we take compliments or when we accept compliments, that builds us up as well. And the meditation that we did earlier in tonight's talk was absolutely wonderful way to begin to cultivate that if you haven't already done so. Right? Go ahead and maybe rewind, I guess. I guess you do rewind. Scroll back to the beginning, and maybe you want to sit with this for a while. That meditation, that's perfectly fine, and it's a wonderful way to, again, cultivate that or develop the ability to accept compliments with gratitude and graciousness. And it's April, right? Spring is here for the people in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Spring is here. People in the Southern Hemisphere, if you're watching, right? I guess you're going into your autumn. So we're here in the Northern Hemisphere for our wonderful spring. We are so happy to announce our very first silent retreat for the season, right? Going into our second year now. We had some wonderful events last year. And this year we're looking forward to continuing those. So May 24th, it's a Sunday, from 7 a.m. to 4:30. If you can't stay the whole time, you can't stay the whole time. If you show up late, show up late. It's fine. Right? It's a free event. Always do my silent retreats for free. And you get lunch. Right? It's a vegetarian lunch. So if you want your hamburgers, you'll have to bring those yourselves. But we certainly serve vegetarian, a light lunch, right? A light lunch. We don't want to get too full when we do these silent retreats. That little bit of hunger will help you focus on your meditations as you go along. And so we're so pleased to announce that. as with all of our silent retreats, they're always on a Sunday. They're always at the end of the month. So May is already posted. May 24th, I believe it is, that Sunday. They'll be in June, July, August, and September as well. Also a teen retreat. Right? It'll be after 4th of July, sometime mid-July, for 5 days. And that is for to help teens, right? Teens to discover mindfulness so they can help cultivate those healthy relationships with themselves. Right? I'm sure many of you have experienced the wonder of mindfulness. And we'll talk about that just for teens as well. So it's 5 days, Monday through Friday. It's not overnight. Unfortunately, it's not overnight at this time. No, but it'll be a swell time. Some other really, really joyful news I wanted to share is we paid off that property too, where our center lies, where it resides. It is free and clear. Totally belongs to the center now, to our wonderful retreat center for everyone, the meditation center. So please, thank you for all of your support and wonderful compliments and participation in coming to our events, whether it's live or even if it's recorded. Thank you very much. And, if you find these videos enlightening or relaxing or helpful in any kind of way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and then so you can be notified of future live streams or any other videos we do post. So we do our live streams, and we also do a produced video. And this for April, our produced video is going to be related to Earth Day, mindfulness and Earth Day. So that'll come out around the mid of the month. So go ahead and subscribe so you can be notified of that. Right? Don't forget our Instagram at Blue Lotus Center and Facebook also at Blue Lotus Center. And thank you very much for your time. I am so grateful that you are here and you have chosen to spend some of your precious time with us this evening. And I look forward to talking with you all again in the future as well. All right. Namaste, my friends.